Have you ever wanted to really change someone's mind? I'm not talking about just winning an argument, but actually, genuinely bringing them over to your way of thinking. Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to build the ultimate tool for it. Think of this as your builder's guide for putting together a speech that's truly persuasive, right from the foundation up.
Okay, so here's our plan for today. First up, we're going to figure out what true persuasion even means. Then we'll get into the 3 classic appeals. These are your essential tools. After that, we'll tackle how to handle the opposition, how to add some visual punch, and finally, how to pull it all together for a speech that just wins. All right, let's get started. Before we can build anything, right, we have to lay the foundation. So what are we actually trying to accomplish when we persuade somebody? Well, it all goes back to this classic idea of the art of persuasion.
And this whole concept, the art of persuasion, it's not new. It actually comes to us from way back. We're talking about the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle. He figured out that a great speech wasn't just, a laundry list of facts. No, it was about moving people, getting them to think or even act in a completely different way. So what does that really boil down to? Persuasion is all about causing a shift. It doesn't matter if you want your audience to totally change their mind, maybe adopt a new idea, or even just double down on a belief they already have. The end game is always the same. You're trying to inspire some kind of action.
And this brings us to a really important point. Your goal here is to persuade, not to argue. And believe me, those are 2 very different things. See, arguing, that's all about conflict. It's about attacking the other side. But persuasion, that's about connection. You're not trying to win a fight here. You're trying to find some common ground, to build a bridge so they can see your point of view.
Okay, so we've got our goal locked in. Now let's load up our toolkit. We're going to dive into the 3 classic appeals. These are the absolute essentials you'll use to build your case. And here's the deal. For your speech to really hit home, you've got to use at least one of these techniques. Think of them as different ways to connect with your audience. One for the head, one for the heart, and one for their core values. First up, we have logos. This is the logical appeal. You can think of this as the appeal to the brain. We're talking hard facts, statistics, solid reasoning, all the stuff you use to build a case that's just intellectually sound. Next, we've got ethos, the ethical appeal. This one is all about building trust. It's where you tap into shared beliefs and values that you and your audience have in common. And a huge part of this is establishing your own credibility. You have to answer that silent question in their heads. Why should I listen to you? Ethos is how you answer it. And last, but definitely not least, there's pathos, the emotional appeal. This is the appeal to the heart. This is where you use stories, personal anecdotes, and really powerful words to make your audience feel something. I mean, a logical argument can convince the mind, for sure, but an emotional connection, that's what really gets people moving. All right, you've got your tools: logos, ethos, pathos. Now, let's talk about a strategy that a lot of people miss: engaging with the opposition. Honestly, this is what separates a pretty good speech from a truly great one. Why? Because it's the secret to building massive credibility. The first instinct for most of us is to either pretend opposing views don't exist or to just attack them head on. But a really skilled persuader, they do the complete opposite. They actually engage with those arguments, but they do it objectively. They show respect for the other side's point of view. So how do you pull this off? Well, first, you have to truly understand why they disagree. I mean, really put yourself in their shoes. Then, look for areas where they might be a little flexible. Find that common ground by talking about shared interests. And only then do you address their arguments, but you do it with respect. Doing this shows you're confident in your own position, and man, does it earn you a ton of trust. Okay, the core structure of our speech is built. Now it's time for some finishing touches. Let's talk about adding visual support, and this is key. Visuals aren't the main event. They're here to support and clarify the words you're saying. So let's just stop and ask a quick question. What is the real purpose of a visual aid? Is it just there to look pretty, to show off your PowerPoint skills, or is there something more strategic going on? I mean, you've got a ton of options, right? You can use slides, graphs, charts, big pictures. You could even bring in a physical model. The key is that the right tool depends on what you need it to do. If you have complex data, a graph is perfect. If you want to hit that emotional note, a powerful photo can do the trick. But listen, if you remember one thing about visuals, let it be this: they are not the star of the show. You are.
A visual aid has one job and one job only: to support your message and help the audience get it. It should never, ever distract from you. So the process is actually pretty simple. Step 1, develop your speech first. Get your message totally locked in. Then, and only then, do you go back and ask yourself, okay, what part of this could be a little clearer with a visual? And that's when you pick one that does exactly that. Clarifies and supports, but never, ever steals the show. All right, our structure is built, the supports are in place, we're ready for the final step, delivering a winning speech. This is where we put it all together and really bring it to life. When it comes right down to it, a great delivery really boils down to two things: a super clear message and using your creativity. You have to ask yourself, is my main point impossible to miss? And have I found a really memorable way to present it? Don't just list your facts. Tell a story. Use a great metaphor. Find an angle that makes people see the whole thing in a brand new way. And hey, don't forget, you're not in this alone. You've got resources to help you out. Definitely check out things like an example outline or a grading rubric. These things are gold because they show you exactly what's expected and what a successful speech looks like. Use them as your guide. So there you have it. You've got the blueprint, you've got the tools, you've got the strategy. You have everything you need to build an argument that is absolutely compelling. All the pieces are on the table. So the only real question left is, whose mind are you going to change?